So in Colorado, divorce mediation means the parties get together with a neutral mediator who seeks to resolve any issues in the case that will result in a settlement. In Colorado, courts don't want to make determinations about assets, debts, custody, decision-making with children. They want the parties to be invested and to make those decisions for themselves. So oftentimes the court will order mediation so that the parties can get together and discuss with a neutral mediator, is there ground to resolve this in a way that is fair and equitable for both people involved. In Colorado, the way we prepare for divorce mediation is to make sure we get all our ducks in a row up front. Oftentimes people see the long view in this, where they see a court and going before a judge, putting on evidence, and having the judge make a determination about the division of assets and debts, the division of other property, child custody issues, or decision-making issues when it comes to children. In this case, and at New Leaf Family, we seek to build those issues up front so that we can have a full picture of what needs to be done to make sure that you have a fair and equitable division of assets and debts, and that you're getting the kind of parenting time and decision-making you think is fair for your life. In Colorado, courts are very conscious about trying to resolve issues and come to an ultimate decision on issues of assets and debt division, child custody, decision-making when it comes to children, those kinds of things. Unfortunately, Colorado courts currently are overwhelmed with family law cases. I get asked all the time, how long after mediation will it take to get to court? Ultimately, it depends on the individual court, but most court cases don't last more than a year from the inception to the end. So when we're talking about mediation, it could be a couple months after mediation, it could be a little bit longer, but I would expect that it shouldn't last longer than a year. I get asked all the time about mediation and what that means. Mediation means a process by which the parties come together to make decisions for themselves and not leave it up to a stranger like a court or a judge to make those decisions for them. In Colorado, if you can reach agreement through mediation, that agreement will be filed with the court and it'll become an order of the court, and you won't have to go to court in the future for them to make that determination for you. In Colorado, mediation is the process where the families come together to determine whether or not they can reach resolution on asset and debt division, parenting time, decision-making, and any other issues that affect the marriage. In Colorado, however, if you reach an agreement and it's filed with the court, it will become an order of the court. Unfortunately, there's almost nothing you can do beyond that if you decide to change your mind. So it's important to understand what your goals are prior to going into the mediation so that you can make the best decisions for you in order to resolve it without having to go into court. So in Colorado, mediation is generally ordered by the court. And what the order will say is that the parties need to go to mediation to see if they can reach agreement to resolve issues from the marriage and through the divorce for themselves. However, you don't have to reach an agreement. What's important is that you come into it in good faith to try to resolve it, because what you don't want to have happen is leave it up to a stranger like a judge or a court to make decisions that will affect your financial status, your parenting status, and things like that. The court wants you to make those decisions for yourself and not leave it up to them to make it for the parties involved. If you have any questions about mediation, please call and book a free case evaluation with New Leaf Family.